symbol of Bodrum, the castle of St. Peter, known in ancient times as Halicarnassus. Bodrum has an incredibly rich past. Its people have continued to live there for thousands of years. Herodot, the father of history, was born here. It is a peninsula of great beauty, with an abundance of flora and fauna. The harvests of the land and the sea have been the rewards of its people for centuries. Bodrum was visited by only Turkish holidaymakers, until it was discovered by tourism. Then the secret was out. Sun, sea, and sand. These are the basic elements of tourism. Bodrum has them all, and much more. When you have had enough of the sun, or the kids become restless, this small peninsula offers a remarkable range of entertainment and diversion. Bodrum is a gracious town and good to look at, with its narrow streets and whitewashed houses dotted with the glorious bougainvillea and lying beneath a sky of blue. The heart of the peninsula is full of interest, spectacular scenery, the intimate life of the village markets, the craftsmen, and Turkey's vibrant culture, all owed in easy reach via the dolmuş, the typical collecting taxi of this country. Merhaba, hoş geldiniz. Hello and welcome. The mausoleum was built by Artemisia II in honor of her husband, King Mausolus. It became one of the wonders of the ancient world. Mausoleum still is the general term for a large tomb. The entire structure had the remarkable height of over 50 meters. The first reliefs from the mausoleum reached the British Museum in 1846. These included frescoes and other objects. Bodrum's first remembered literary character was Cevat Shakir, known as the Halicarnassus fisherman. He has asked for the return of the mausoleum parts to Bodrum in his letter addressed to the Queen of England, saying that such exquisite works of art were not fitting their place under the foggy and grey sky of London. The letter he received in response stated as following: "Thank you for reminding us the matter. We have painted the ceiling where the mausoleum is located in blue." The most prominent feature of Bodrum is the castle of St. Peter. The castle's origins date back to the Knights of St. John. This group of expatriates began in the 11th century with a church and hospital in Jerusalem. Although belonging to the Catholic religion, care was denied to no one. When the knights arrived, they instructed their builders to remove all usable materials from the tomb of King Mausolus, when the castle construction began at the very beginning of the 15th century. The knights referred to the town as Messi, not knowing that they were in the ancient Halicarnassus. The fortress became known as the Castle of St. Peter, the Liberator. It served as the sole place for refugees for all Christians on the west coast of Asia during the time of the Crusades. For over a century, the castle served as a stronghold in the knights' community. Under Turkish care, the castle has undergone several uses, including being a military base, a prison, and a public bath. But now, it's one of the finest museums in this region. Is another testament to the great past of Bodrum. Situated in the hillside overlooking Bodrum is the amphitheater. Built during Carrian's reign in the Hellenistic era, this theater consists of 3 different sections. It has capacity for approximately 13,000 people. Here, as nearly everywhere in Turkey, archaeologists expect to find more remains underneath the rubble of 17 centuries. Shortly after the death of King Mausolus, Alexander the Great was conquering Halicarnassus. Here, the Mindus Gate saw him going southwards. The history of modern Turkey starts with Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, President of the Turkish Republic from 1923 until his death in 1938. Drastic steps were taken by Atatürk, Father of the Turks. This title was officially given to him during his presidency. He began by removing Turkey from its set Islamic traditions and thus brought about a wealth of changes. The Latin alphabet, the introduction of the surname, voting rights for women, and it was he who made the 23rd of April World Children's Day. Come with us now as we wander our way through Bodrum's many little streets and alleyways. Take a trip back in time and feel the romantic pull of the tranquil surroundings. Every Friday, traders and farmers come to Bodrum to sell their produce. They range from all kinds of fruits and vegetables to imitation Rolex watches and items of clothing. It is well worth the visit, if only to feel the wonderful atmosphere and take in the many sights and sounds.
Elma 2 kilo 55, elma 2 kilo 55.
Always a hive of activity. This is Bodrum's bus station, the Autogar. Anytime during the day or night, you can catch a bus to anywhere in the country. Whatever your taste, Bodrum has it all, whether you prefer the modern or the antique. The side streets, as well as the main walkways, are laden with a wondrous choice. All you have to do is choose. This glass eye is called bonchuk, believed to ward off bad spirits. They are part of everyday's life, and no Turkish business office or home is complete without one. There is a wide variety of things to do down on the beach. If you want a quiet and relaxing day, there are lots of comfortable sun lounges only inches away from the cool blue sea. For those who like to be really adventurous, there are jet skis, or you might even fancy parasailing. The waters around Bodrum are ideal for diving and snorkeling. Professional instructors are available for all levels of competence, from beginners to the old hands. But especially for the kids, the long and shallow beaches are huge adventure playgrounds. However, not everyone is so at home, sitting by the hotel swimming pool day after day. For those wishing to have more contact with people and places, the journey from Bodrum to Yakamoz takes approximately 20 minutes by minibus. It provides the visitor with some of the most spectacular scenery of the peninsula. Surrounded by fertile valleys, Yakamoz is still an important fishing center. Relax in one of the small bars and watch the fishermen bring in their catch. And always you discover, just next to the road, something new. The Turkish honey is famous worldwide. These are the remains of windmills, which you see everywhere on the top of the hills. They date back to Osman time, the time of the sultans and caliphs. In simple words, these are cisterns, covered and made from field stones to collect the rainfall in wintertime. Kümbet is the Turkish name for it.
Balık yere. Tabii ya. Nereden abi ya? Balık yere. Bak.
Gümüşlük is a peaceful village, based on the ruins of the ancient Mindus. Situated directly on the seaside are many fish restaurants, inviting you to have a delicious meal while watching the sunset. You can also watch the art of pipe making here. The material is Meerschaum, which absorbs nicotine very well. Take time out to visit an olive grove. There you will see these very old trees, whose knotted and twisted trunks can date back about 800 years. The olive crop is still being harvested today as it was hundreds of years ago. popular these days is the holiday village, such as Sea Garden near Kizilaj, which was built by the Swiss company Happy Mag. This well-thought-out resort, with its comfortable accommodation and quality amenities, nestles gently in a totally natural surrounding and well deserves its high level of praise. Numerous cruise ships make Bodrum a port of call, allowing their passengers to explore some of the nearby places of interest. This ancient place called Yassus, just across the scenic Gulf of Gülich, was founded in the 9th century BC. Aphrodisia, for example, a city devoted to the goddess of love, as a free city, had a taxless status. And don't miss Didyma. It was the biggest oracle place in ancient times. Near Dalian, numbers of elaborated rock tombs can be seen cut into the face of distant cliffs by the Lydians. They date back to the 4th century BC, and some were reused by the Romans. There is Pamukkale with its hot baths, where you can swim over the ruins of ancient Hierapolis. There are cascades of petrified water and calcium deposits. Pamukkale, literally translated, means cotton castle. The Bodrum Peninsula is edged with fertile valleys. Here you'll see in September, October, the picking of a plant everybody knows, but only a few have seen in its natural state. It is, of course, cotton. Something one shouldn't miss is looking over the shoulder of a carpet weaver whilst learning about the difference between killing and hull, the woven and the knotted carpet. Carpet making is a typically traditional Turkish art form. When the summer is over and the weather is mild here in winter, this is the time for the camel wrestling to begin. It is a great social occasion. The rich decorated male camels are led into an arena where they fight each other for the female camel. The raki tables are the most sought-after seats. constantly heard is the sound of the Turkish zurna, whilst the double drum keeps the beat and the locals dance until they drop. A camel fight is a bloodless sport. It is a contest of strength to see which camel can hold his opponent down the longest.
Şimdi sağ makasa yanaştırıldı. Selahattin'inki sağ makastan çıkıyor. Bodrumlular erken biçerekini küçük kastan gösteriyor sağ tekini. Sağdan teke iniyor küçük kastan. Sayın Selahattin'in bayrağı kendini savunuyor. Güreş bu şekilde devam ediyor. Açılın, açılın. Antalya Demre'den Şekeroğulları'nın kaptanı.
Just outside of Bodrum is İçmele. Here you find the largest place for wooden boat building in Europe. An 18-meter gullet, that's the name for this kind of boat, can be built from scratch in 8 to 12 months. Since the time of King Mausolus, Bodrum has been an important center for boat building. Ptolemaeus from Egypt had his warships made here in 300 BC. Today these boats are still being built on similar lines, but are, of course, used for a different purpose. The wooden yachts are ideal as charter boats, having ample space all around. Start the Blue Cruise here, or Mavi Yol, as it is being called in Turkish. These trips take you from Bodrum Harbor all the way down to Marmaris or Fethiye. You will be able to view the pine-clad shores of the Gulf of Gökova, a gulf which is approximately 45 miles long. This part of the Turkish Aegean is a beautiful contrast of sheltered bays and open sea. From the comfort of your home, you can select one of these boats. The prices vary according to the size of the boat. A middle-range one, based on a party of 10 to 14 people, will cost about 3,000 to 5,000 pounds per week. Naturally, this includes cook and crew. But there are also daily boat trips available for only £12 to bring you to the many other beaches and bays. is still warm, there is wind to fill the sails. That's the time for the International Bodrum Cup for wooden yachts. The last days are hectic and filled with preparing the boats, but then you relax. And last instructions are given. The very light wind, when there was any, delayed the start of this 4-day race. But then the sight of these massed sails set against the background of the Bodrum castle was stunning, as if some dream armada had come to life. Boats filled with spectators are following, and the mayor informs himself what his son is doing on the collar ship Chef. Homewards is now the destiny after the last day's stage. The official ending with prize giving was celebrated then in the disco Halikanas in front of an enthusiastic audience. After a long sunny day, we come to Bodrum and visit Bar Street. Try a doner kebab from one of the food stalls. They taste delicious. Or this one. It's called gözleme, a local snack with a filling of mincemeat and cheese. Countless are the restaurants and their great varieties of cold starters known as mezes, samples of some fine Turkish cooking. The local drink, raki, is worth a try. It is made from anise seed. Bodrum's beauty at night can be seen better then. Bodrum's nightlife, with all its bars and discotheques, is most colorful, drawing people even from Istanbul and Ankara. We should visit especially Halikanas, a marvelous disco with its castle panorama directly at the seaside. Finish now with the belly dance, leaving you to enjoy this oriental night, during which you can dream of your next visit to Bodrum. Goodbye. Güle güle.